Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm making another Chinese dish for you today. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's eggplant in a garlic sauce. The sauce is sweet, it's sour, it's a little spicy, it's got a little bit of everything. You're going to absolutely enjoy it. So let's get started. For this recipe, what you need first is good Chinese eggplant. This is a Chinese eggplant. You can use regular eggplant, but it has more seeds than a Chinese eggplant. So if you can get this in your grocery store, this is ideal. And this dish can be made two ways. You can either deep fry these or shallow fry them or steam them. Just to keep the dish healthy, I'm going to steam it for you today, but feel free to fry them. And I'll tell you how to do that also. So to do that, we first want to cut these eggplants and prep them. So let's do that first. With these, what you want to do is you cut them first into about 2.5-2 inch sections, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just one to guide the next, so they're kind of even in size. There you go, simple as that. And once we have that done, then we take each individual section and we're going to slice them further. And I'll show you how to do that. You cut them down the middle once, like so, and then into maybe 3 parts. Depends on the size of eggplant. At the end of the day, you want a section that looks about that much in size, and that's perfect to cook. And you can see there's not many seeds in here, unlike the other eggplants you'd buy, which would have more seeds. So I'll finish this up, cut all of them, and we'll move on to the next step. So I've chopped up my eggplant nice into 1 inch, about 2 inches long, and that wide, about 1 centimeter wide or so. So that's the right size. And like I said, if you want to fry this, then you can fry it by itself or just add some cornstarch to this so it gets crispy, and then fry it on very high heat and you get a crispy texture. But today, to keep it healthy, I'm going to steam it. Now let's talk about the ingredients for a second. I have garlic over here, ginger, some chopped chilies, and I have some sweet peppers. These are just bell peppers, sweet peppers. And of course I have my spring onions. Most Chinese dishes have that, and it's a must. And I have some dry red chili. And then I'll get to the sauce in a second, but for now, let's put our eggplant in the steamer. So that's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how you cut these. And once we put that in the steamer, we'll make the sauce. So when I'm putting in the steamer, I use a bamboo steamer. I love bamboo. It has a great steaming capability and a flavor. So that's what I use, but it's better than aluminum or steel in general. I want to spread these around as much as possible so they steam evenly. If one is not enough, you can use a layered steamer. You can put 2 of these and stack them on top of each other, but I think this will work for what I want today. So let's put that, close the lid, and we'll drop it right here. So I have some water, as you can see, that's already boiling, and I'm going to place my steamer on top and let that steam away for 15 minutes, right? So for the sauce, let's do that now. Now I have some red bean, this spicy red bean paste. If you don't have that, use a chili paste, a chili garlic paste, or a gochujang, which is a Korean paste, any of those. To that I'm going to add some cornstarch. All the ingredients are below, so don't worry, you'll see them. So add my cornstarch, and no particular order of adding these ingredients because we're going to make a nice sauce. This sauce is the most important part of this dish. So I drop that in there. I have some brown sugar. You can use white sugar as well, doesn't matter. Drop that in there. Those are my dry ingredients. Next, I'm adding some soy sauce. This is light soy. We're going to add 2 kinds of soy to this. About 2 tablespoons of light soy. And if you don't like it very salty, of course add less. I have some dark soy as well over here. I'm going to add that. Dark soy tends to be very salty and strong, so you can see how thick it is as well. So 1 tablespoon of that is good enough. And I'm also going to add some vinegar. Remember, this has to have a balance of sour, sweet, and spicy. So this is what's going to give me my sour. So So I'm going to add one heaping and maybe another half a tablespoon of vinegar. Sorry. And then I also have here some oyster sauce. Now for people who are pure vegetarians, I have an alternate. There's a stir-fry sauce made by Licum Key. This is a great brand of products. This is purely vegetarian. Oyster sauce by itself, of course, is not vegetarian. It does have a great flavor, so I'm going to add that today. But if you're a vegetarian, just use that, or any stir-fry sauce also works. We'll add about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. There you go. And then this is Chinese cooking wine. It's called Shaoxing wine. It's a great product. If you don't have it, I recommend you keep a bottle at home. And this is optional. If you don't have it, no problem. But since I have it today, I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon of that as well. Drop that in there. That is my garlic sauce mix. So I'll give that a stir, get all of these together. In the meantime, you can see my eggplant is also steaming. Once that's steamed, we'll move on to getting all of this dish together for a wonderful end product. Okay, so my eggplant, you can see it's beautifully steamed. You don't want it over steamed, and it's just a little tender. So I don't know if you can see the texture on camera, but that's just tender, but not overcooked. That's what we want. That's perfect. That took about 12 to 14 minutes, depending on the size of the eggplant, of course. So let's move here. I have my same wok, which I used to steam the eggplant earlier, and we've dried it out completely. We're going to add some oil, and any vegetable oil, cooking oil is fine. About 3 or 4 tablespoons of that. And what you want to do is first coat your wok. And a wok is the best for this dish. Just coat it with oil. All you have to do is swirl it around, just like that. So that's nice and coated. And it's also quite hot. So in that, I'm going to add my first 3 ingredients. Ginger, garlic, and some chilies. So we drop those in there. And you can see my oil is hot, so it's already sizzling. Now this is a garlic sauce. So we need plenty of garlic. Ingredients are below, so don't worry about the proportions. You can see them. And I'm also going to add my dry red chilies to this at this point. Now this will take only 30 to 40 seconds. We don't need to brown these. We just need to release the fragrances of ginger and garlic and chilies into the oil. That's all we're looking for. So quickly toss it around. Okay, so if you have Sichuan chilies, the red chili, dry red chili, use those. If not, any red chili is fine. So all the fragrances are now in my oil, and I want to see the garlic in this dish, right? So I don't want it to brown and wilt. So this is good enough. At this point, I'm going to add my sweet peppers, which I chopped up earlier. So toss that in there. We'll give this a stir. And there's one more quick step to be done as well. I'll show you that in a second. So while this is frying, I made my sauce mix earlier, which I showed you how to do. And to this, I'm going to add a little bit of water. About a half a cup of water is good enough. We add that. And we have cornstarch, so don't worry, the sauce will thicken. So we give that a quick stir and add it to our pan. And now the sugar will melt, will caramelize, it'll make it nice and gooey. It's sour, spicy, all of that. So it's going to be a beautiful dish when it all comes together. So we'll give that a quick mix. And then I'm going to add just the white part of my spring onions also at this point. I want it to be a little crunchy. You can add this earlier, some people do. I like to add it at this stage only because I want it a little crunchy. Now this has to come to a boil. When this comes to a boil, we'll add our eggplant. You can see our sauce is nice and bubbling, and that's what we want. So now we're ready to add our eggplant. We open our steamer and just toss in there. Now these eggplants, you don't want to mix very hard or very vigorously rather, because you don't want them to break apart. So we're going to gently toss these. So I'm going to add this. This is already cooked, so you don't have to cook these anymore. You're just trying to coat the sauce. So all my eggplants in there, and I'm going to turn my heat off and just toss them around in there gently. See that sauce, how thick and nice and perfect it is. So it has to coat all the eggplant. So you want to do this for about a minute or so. And once we do this, then the final step is to garnish this with the remaining part of the spring onion, which is the green part, of course. And so we toss a little bit of that in there. Get some nice color, texture, and flavor, all of that. And that's it, folks. So that's my eggplant in garlic sauce Chinese style, and it's all done, good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you try this at home. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.